We go live. All right, let's see. We in live stream. Okay,
Yes.
consent. Now I got to consent. All right, good.
Yes, guys. If you can see us, we are going live. I'm just making sure on my phone that everything is going good and it's all working out. So let's do this. Let me see what's going on my phone here. If you're watching this, hello and welcome. I'm going to introduce our special guest in one moment, but I just want to make sure that we're live. And I do see us live. So that's perfect. I'm going to turn the volume down. Guys, if you have any questions as we go through this live, let me know. Comment in the comment section. And I'm now going to, let's chat with Bobby. So,
Yeah.
friends, hey, Tara, hey, everybody that's watching. We have some people tuning in today. And guys, this is a good one. Let's talk money. So if you are watching this, go ahead and share it with your friends. If you're an alumni, go ahead and invite your class, invite your cohorts to come watch with us. We're obviously going to drop the link in the Academy Alumni group once this is finished, so you can always watch the replay. But we're just so happy to have Bobby here today. I told Bobby this will be quick and painless, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Friends, this is Bobby Blackburn. Bobby Blackburn works with Thrivent Financial, who's one of the partners for Corner to Corner. And what they do is they really help, and they can tell you exactly, he can tell you exactly how they do that. But my experience with Thrivent is that they help, sorry, somebody's trying to call me, friends. They help our partners, they help our friends really understand their money, understand how to use their money smartly, how to make their money work with them and work for them, and how to do that in a way that's painless and effortless, and they're educated and knowledgeable about all they do. So I'm so excited to have Bobby here with us because we're going to talk all things money and financial for our entrepreneurs and give you guys some valid takeaways from today. So Bobby, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So Bobby, tell me a little about, I'm so popular right now. Tell me a little bit about your business and what you do from Thrivent.
Well, let me give you just a 2-second history. So I spent 22 years in ministry. I got started in nonprofit development and have weaved my way through and around helping people and helping people figure out what they want to do to ultimately leave a legacy. And so that was kind of the origins of my career. And I found out that the people that go well into development work are financial advisors who've talked with people about that legacy planning anyway. When you think about it from the ministry perspective, you're always thinking about how can we use the things that we have to help other people. The good steward is always generous. So how can we take what we have and share that with other folks? So from the very beginning is if you learn something and you employ it and it's fruitful, then you have to share that with other people. And that's always been my mentality with my business. I've been in the financial industry specifically for about 8 or 9 years, and about 3 years with Thrivent. And right now, my favorite target are people that are entrepreneurs, business owners, executives, that sort of thing, who generally have an idea of where they want to go, but also are purposeful providers in that they want to help other people get there. So when someone has that mindset that they're trying to help somebody else as well, that's where I want to be. Those are the people that I think are kind of my target.
Absolutely. And so guys, I know if you're like, oh, I'm not ready to invest, or I'm not having, trying to do this 401k thing, or I'm not trying to do stocks, that you may think this is not for you. You are wrong, because today we talk about, as Bobby was saying, legacy building. But to build a legacy in the future, you have to make decisions today that build on that. And so what we're talking about is for our entrepreneurs, this Lunch and Learn series, how they're going to make smart money decisions with the dollar, the $5, the $500, the $5,000 that you have from your business, and you're talking about next steps. So Bobby, I know this is a general question, but if you had an entrepreneur who was like, I'm just starting out, I'm just gaining some momentum, I have a full-time job, this is my part-time job, and I want to set it up right so that I can leave a legacy 10, 15, 20 years down the road, what would you say to them?
Well, the first thing I would say is congratulations. You're doing something that takes that can be really fruitful, and that it's going to be challenging. But you're really taking a big step, and to have that within you to go out and try and make that difference and believe in yourself, because that's what you're doing. You're betting on yourself, and you're taking that step out. So congratulations. Um, the second thing I would tell you is that there's nothing wrong with starting small. And I really appreciate that you gave that clarity, that there are going to be things that you're going to start off with that may not be as grandiose as the final product. And that's
Right.
okay for you to start small, to get those foundational pieces. The Bible says, don't despise the day of small things, that it's the small things that add up to bigger things. If I had somebody that came to me and said, Bobby, I just have a little bit, what would I do to get started? I think that the first thing I would do is think about where you want to go, and start writing down specifically, here's what I have to achieve. Here's what has to happen. And then make that kind of non-negotiable. So for some people that may be in the service industry, to go, this is non-negotiable. In order for me to feed my family or to make a profit, I'm going to have to, if I'm cleaning houses, I'm going to have to clean 5 houses a week. All right, then that's going to be your minimum. You're going to have to hit that goal, and you're going to have to figure out how much you're going to charge for that. And if that's where you're at, then here's what I need to make. Here's what I got to charge, and that's what's going to have to back out from there. Here's what things are going to cost. So the short answer is a budget, but I didn't want to start with that because sometimes when you give people that word, the B word, they don't like to hear it. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, because budget feels very for the haves, right? It feels very for the people who are taking trips to Greece and who are doing week-long vacations and who are going to space for 15 minutes. It feels like they need a budget. I need additional income. But even with the small things that you may have, even with the amount that you're making to break even or to make ends meet, you have to know exactly where the money goes. Even if you're at a deficit, you should know that too, right? You should know that every month you're either paying this bill or that bill. If you're not aware of where you lack, if you're not aware of how these things are meeting, or where you're in abundance and how you're like wilding out with your money and buying clothes like me all the time, then if you're not aware of that, then you really can squander the money that you have and be like, I've been trying to do this for 10 years when you really had the money to do it all along, but you spent it in ways that you may not have known, like eating out or shopping, or just kind of, you may have it in your bank account, right? And you don't even realize that you have it because you have that budget.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think part of that,
go ahead,
let me give you an example. So from time to time, I'll do fundraisers in the community to kind of help, maybe a nonprofit or a little, maybe there's a kids club that's doing some things in the community, whatever. And one of the things that's pretty popular is I'll put ribs on the smoker. And I was pricing them out this last week. Pork back ribs right now, from where I normally order them, are like $15 or $16 a rack. Okay, $15 or $16. For comparison, about a year and a half ago, I could order them and they were $7 a rack.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty expensive right now. Okay. Now they may go on sale before Labor Day or what have you, but that's a pretty high price. So as even in that endeavor, in that small little, I've got to know, okay, normally I could triple the price because it's 3 times cost plus tax is what we generally go for. So I could 777 and sell them for $21, $20 to $24, and make a profit and pay for everything, et cetera, and have money to give to the nonprofit. If I do that same math now, that same rack of ribs will cost what, 3 times 15? So it'll cost like $45 to $50. Now I'll say that my ribs are pretty good. So, but what I'm saying is you got to take that into consideration. I think some consumers are going to be seeing that. You're going to have to be saying, listen, either I'm changing what I'm serving, right? Or I'm going to find a different way to slice that up so that I can get more out of it. And that's where the budget comes in.
That's great. And I'm just going to hold this up. This is like the little table of contents from our Academy book that all of our graduates have gotten. We use the Co-Starters curriculum. If you're watching and you haven't enrolled or you want to enroll, then go ahead and sign up at the Academy Nashville. But if you are a graduate and you're like, you know what, Bobby's right. I haven't priced out my, my products. I haven't looked to see if I can find a better price. They are going up. So I may need to recalibrate how much I charge. Now, I want to encourage you guys to look at week 4, which is the building the model to scale, and then also your week 6, which is figuring out your bottom line, which also rolls into week 7, which is a sales projections, because you kind of want to know, like, this is what I'm doing now. this is what I'm projected to do. And if things are going up, like the cost of used cars, the cost of food trucks, all these things are going up right now post-pandemic, and I put post-pandemic in quotes, then you need to know if those numbers are still correct. So building a budget, and Tara's comment, and I appreciate it, building a budget is a good thing. You have to know where your dollars are going. If you have them, if you need more of them, if you have an abundance of them, you always should know where that's going. And so, Bobby, I like that being your first tip that they're taking away today. Is like, hey, great job, congratulations. Let's start with the budget. Let's start with really understanding how everything is going to cost and how everything is going to roll. And once they kind of sit down and figure that out, then what would you say their next steps should be as they prepare for legacy building on in the future?
Well, so one of the things that we think about with our legacy is, first of all, to protect it. But by that, I don't mean to necessarily build up a next day. But let's say that you're having a family business, whether it's you know, if me and my wife went into business together and we're doing something together and we end up taking on debt or something to borrow to make this work. The first legacy is, I don't want to leave her, if something happened to me or something happened to her, where I'm leaving her with a debt load that she can't handle if I'm not there. So I know that some people don't like it. They feel like, well, this is going to be the time where we talk about life insurance. But having a key person life insurance policy, you don't have to get it forever. You can maybe get an inexpensive term policy. But in the event that something happened to you, you need to be sure that your legacy is not one of leaving your partner, your business partner, or your spouse in a hole where now the legacy is of debt. So try and figure out how to protect that. The second thing right along with that, and I don't know that it's either or, but you need to talk with somebody that specializes in small business insurance, so that, let's say that you had a food truck, right? And that food truck, you forget to put the parking brake on, it rolls down the hill and it hits we'll just say for this argument that it hits somebody's property, and it damages it. How are you going to take care of that? What if somebody gets food poisoning? And that could send you out of business. You've got to price out the protection so that you can have a business to build, so that you can leave a legacy. So start thinking about, as you're building the budget and you're thinking about success, what would happen to send your business backwards? And how do we protect against those things? And one of those things can be the accidents or the what ifs that happen in life. And so I think that that's critical, that a lot of times small business owners will say, I don't need that. Nothing will happen to me. And it's sad to see that when something does happen, that they're not properly covered for it.
Yeah. And so you and I were talking to get ready for this live. We were talking about how business in a lot of forms parallels your personal life. So,
That's right.
As you talk about the budget and knowing your personal budget and therefore knowing your business budget, even if your business doesn't have a budget, even if you're new and you haven't even opened a bank account, you haven't sold one product, you haven't done one service, you haven't done one consultation, you can project what that would look like based on your personal budget, based on how much things cost, based on what's already going on in the marketplace. But then secondly, to you, maybe take like 30 days, a month or two, and sit down and write down every bill that you pay, every type of insurance that you have. I have life insurance, I have health insurance, I have car insurance, I have renter's insurance, right? So I have multiple types of insurances that kind of give me a wraparound service, and that should parallel your business in some form, that you have to figure out, do I need property insurance? Do I have practicing insurance? And contact an insurance agent, and maybe they can send you in the right direction. Maybe start by Googling and just get some background knowledge before you book some of their time. And I liked when you said that their business is gonna, in some ways, parallel what they have personally. So that's a good way to start thinking about it. What would you say about that?
It really is. It's going to parallel what you've got, because if something happened and you didn't have that insurance, they can start coming after you to some extent, depending on how your business is set up. They can start coming after your business and or your personal effects. So I would tell you that part of that legacy building of where you want to go. If you want to have a dream business that either that you're going to pass down to the next generation, or maybe that you're building to sell, think about how you protect it. And it's an often overlooked portion. And I know you got to start small, but you do need to think about how we protect that. The other thing is, some small businesses get investors. They have seed money that they get from business partners, et cetera. And sometimes those contracts will require a key person policy, or they're easier to acquire an investor when you say, If I said to you, hey, listen, I need to borrow this money, but I want you to know I have a key person policy on me so that if I die or if something happens to me, you'll be made whole. And then you can say that whenever you're talking with people about getting business partners and building that if you're trying to grow in that area.
Yeah. So right now, guys, if you're thinking, whoa, this is happening too fast. I'm just starting my business. I'm just enrolling the Academy. Our job here at the Academy is to give you food for thought. And I want to remind some people that we have people in lots of different places, right? So we've been having the Academy since 2016. So we have some people who are in the 6-figure, moving towards the 7-figure business. And we have some people who are making $100 and $200 a month, right? So our job is to provide education holistically if you're ready for it or if it's something to be prepared for. So if you feel like this is a little bit above what you are at right now, we want you to listen and take it in because it's helping with your projection. It's helping as you see yourself in the future and what you want to do. And I will say, Bobby, and I don't even think I mentioned this to you, if you have like a small hole, let's just say you have a business and you're like, I really want to get this insurance for my food truck, or I really want to get this insurance for let's keep with the food truck because it's so many different businesses it could be.
Yeah, and I love food, and it's getting close to lunch.
Yeah. We're gonna keep on the food truck bandwagon. And so we have a micro loan. So our micro loan is called Academy Invested, and it's a 1% interest loan up to $1,000. And so if you're saying the money I'm making in my business right now is just helping me break even, and I can see how I can grow in the next 6 to 8 months. But I need this insurance today to drive off the lot. I just don't have the money today. But as I get the car, as I get the things, right, I can make the money. Well, we have a micro loan that our Academy Alumni Director, Yasmin, who's watching right now, runs it. And she sends it out. It's a rolling admissions on that loan. We have people who help you with the application, and then they help you if you are accepted into the program. And so that may be a good place to get that extra $1,000 to jumpstart that insurance so you can get it on the lot. It's always like the cart and the horse, right? You get a new car, you can afford a new car, but you have to have that full coverage insurance before you can drive it off the lot. So you really need more than you think you need. In the same way, for food trucks and these other like brick and mortar experiences, those things are required. But if you need to pay off permits, if you need to pay for certain things that you just don't have it now, but making that money will help you grow your income, we are available for that. So that's just a little plug. If you're an Academy alumni, be sure to apply for the micro loan if you need it. And if you're like, I want to see how we can work together and where I can build in that, yes, and be happy to help. So hello, everybody that's watching live right now. We have lots of people who are throwing the tips and their takeaways in the chat. We appreciate you. No questions right now. So I think, Bobby, we are basically, almost at time. I told you to be a quick 20 to 30 minutes, and I want to be a woman of my word. So let me know so we talked about budgeting, right? We talked about expecting your insurance and really understanding what that will look like and it not being an overwhelming process and you kind of finding help with that. Is there something in your experience as you moved from ministry to entrepreneurship that you thought, I'm glad that I did this, or I wish I would have done this?
I will say this. I think one of the things that when people are transitioning from full-time work or a corporate place, they forget about their own benefits, and they do that to their detriment. I think part of the price that you need to consider is replacing either that 401k, that simple IRA, the insurance, the vision, the dental, the health insurance. Sometimes that's part of the risk because people are afraid to price that in to their product or service. And what I'm going to tell you is when you're doing that budget, you also need to consider not just your product, but how you take care of your family. Okay. If you're going to go and do this on your own, and if you're going to eventually hire other people, you want them to come and work for you and have that same blessing and benefit. So I will tell you this, that's often forgotten. I know when I first got started, that was something that I didn't consider. And I would encourage you, if you want to have benefits at work, listen, the greatest employee, the best employee is you. So treat that person well, treat yourself well, give yourself the benefits of your work. And I know that we talk about some people being at different levels. I would tell you that even when you're starting off in that small place, but price that in. Go ahead and learn that from the beginning. Okay. Don't say, well, I'll think about that later. I'll think about that later. Think about it now and have it set up from the very start.
Think about it now. I like that. Think about it now. So Tara asked the question, do you have any recommendations for insurance companies. Tara, I'm just assuming that you are in business insurance, but for the sake of conversation, and you can let me know, Tara, in the chat if you think both business and personal insurance. But do you have recommendations for insurance companies, or should she be looking for certain characteristics across insurance companies?
I will tell you that you need to talk with someone that really specializes in commercial insurance. If somebody wants to contact me offline, I'll be happy to make that referral to you. I know people that are great at helping in that regard, and they'll ask you lots of questions and kind of help you uncover maybe some vulnerabilities that you didn't know about or weren't aware of. That'll help you count that cost of having business insurance.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, she just said business. So we're going to leave your contact info. And I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they do. Maybe you'll let us know. If someone's like, okay, I heard Bobby today. I want to start doing some research to have a little bit more understanding before I reach out to a professional. Do you recommend any places that they can learn, any websites? Does Thrivent have a website with that type of information, or a place where they really can get some baseline understanding of what they would need or insurance and things like that?
So when you start talking about, you're talking about personal insurance, not business, correct?
Either one.
Okay. So I will tell you that one of the workshops that we can put on for you, and that you and I can talk maybe offline about putting those things on, is doing something like that, maybe in more depth, to kind of set up a question and answer. Well, we'll bring some material to talk about those things, but really kind of let the audience kind of make the seminar or workshop their own. The other thing is that there are neat opportunities for people that are members of a group to maybe get onto some group policies for health insurance, for other group benefits that may be suitable for what you guys are doing. So there's a lot of cool things about that. I would encourage, I can't see because I'm on my phone. I can't see you ask that in the chat. I'm not being rude, but if you'll reach out to me, yeah. So if you'll go ahead and reach out to me, maybe we can set that up. If you could ask some more specific questions, and then we'll set something up, because I imagine she's not the only person that has that question. Right. And then kind of answer those questions along the way, and bring in a couple of experts, and maybe do kind of a panel discussion. I don't want to take over and distract from what you're doing. If we can come along and kind of be an adjunct for that, though, I'd be happy to do that.
For sure. Yeah. We love to partner. And again, we are not the experts in many things. Our job is to be a connector and a place to uplift our entire community. So we are so thankful for you saying that. So if somebody did want to reach out to you, Bobby, or your team, I know you have a couple people who work with you, or maybe under you, or maybe an assistant, or however that really works for you. If someone wanted to contact someone on your team, what would be their next steps?
If you want to do that, you can find me on Facebook, Bobby Blackburn Thrivent. You can find me there, or you can email me, bobby.blackburn@thrivent.com. That's THRIVENT.com. And or you can call me 615-557-4961, and we'll get back with you as quick as we can. But yeah, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Bobby. I hope and guys, today's Bobby's birthday. So if I could sing, I would sing happy birthday. But instead, I'll spare you as my gift. I'll spare you my singing voice. And instead, I wish you a happy birthday from the Corner to Corner family. And everybody working, guys, comment in the chat. Give Bobby a happy birthday.
Hey,
if you're watching the replay, we appreciate your time.
No, listen, greatest gift you could give me today is just go out and be a better version of yourself than you already are. That's my birthday wish, is and also have some cake.
Yeah. Oh, and now I can definitely help with the second one. I'll try the first one. No promises. Yeah. The cake is on my radar. No. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We got some happy birthdays to Bobby in the chat. We hope your day is so special. We appreciate you spending it with us. And guys, if you have any questions, Bobby Blackburn Thrivent on Facebook, bobby.blackburn@thrivent.com. And he gave out his phone number before. If you're watching the replay, we appreciate you tuning in with us today. And guys, we do a monthly lunch and learn, because we want you to be able to learn and grow for your business. If you have any topics you want to discuss, send us an email, drop it in the chat, send us a DM. You know how to get in touch with us. And until next time, guys, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye, everybody.